lovelies. It's another beautiful episode of Desperation with Oe. Whether you have been here from the day one or today is your very first lesson, I am genuinely glad you found your way here. Now, truly, because I do not believe in coincidences, I believe conversations like this find you when you need them most, right? Now, this space is a safe space, a space where you have real conversations, the kind that stir the heart and scratch the mind, the kind that may feel uncomfortable at first but eventually become freeing, right? So take a deep breath with me and let's dive in. It's the season. We call it the season of love. Everywhere you turn, love is being celebrated. Social media is filled with cute couple pictures. Cinemas are releasing romantic movies. Proposals are happening. Weddings are trending. Flowers are being delivered. Surprise dates, it's ongoing. Matching outfits. And while all of that is beautiful, today I just want us to talk about a different kind of love. You know, not the performative love, not the Instagram filter kind of love. I really want us to talk about the love that requires honesty, right? The love that requires courage, the love that requires healing, the kind of love that starts within. You see, we all have deep-seated issues. Yes, like every single one of us. Some of us have abandonment wounds. Some of us have rejection trauma. Some of us have attachment patterns we don't even understand. And some of us are operating from childhood pain we never addressed. You see, the difference between people isn't that some are perfect and others are damaged. Nope. The real difference is that some people choose to confront their issues while others choose to hide from them. Now, healing begins the day you stop pretending nothing is wrong, right? That is when it begins. So, let me ask you something gently. For how long will you keep allowing the past to hold you down? For how long will you allow one person's betrayal to define your future? I know I'm saying this. For how long will you shrink yourself just to avoid starting over? You see, I'm going to tell you a story. When I first found out the truth about an ex I once dated, I felt everything. I felt betrayed, anger, pain, rejection, heartache, name it. But above all, I felt fear. And I don't mean small fear, I mean the kind that grips your chest at night. The fear that my third so called serious relationship was ending again, right? The fear that I would be alone, the fear of starting over, the fear of explaining, the fear of what will people say? Those questions. Oh, what happened to them? Did he cheat on her? Did she mess up? Did he already introduce her to her parent or to his parent? I could already hear the whispers. And let's be honest here. Even when we say we don't care what people think, sometimes we actually do care. Not because their opinion defines us, but because we are human. And rejection can feel loud at times. You see, so I was so terrified of being the girl whose relationship failed again, that I almost stayed with someone who betrayed my trust, stayed with someone who disrespected me, stayed in a situation that chipped away my confidence. I almost convinced myself that being treated as less than I am was better than being alone, was better than being alone. So I really want us to let this sink in. How many of us have done that? How many of us have stayed because we didn't want to start over? How many of us have stayed because the relationship had history? Stayed because families were already involved? Or stayed because we were tired of explaining? Or maybe stayed because we were scared no one else would come? But now here's the dangerous part. When you stay where you're constantly disrespected, you slowly begin to accept it as your normal. That's the truth. And the scariest thing isn't that someone else mistreated you. The scariest thing is when you begin to believe you deserve it. I know I'm not alone in this, right? There are many of us who remain in unhealthy relationships because we have convinced ourselves that being disrespected is better than being alone. We tell ourselves, at least I'm not single. At least I'm someone's girlfriend. At least I'm someone else's boyfriend. At least someone is there for me. At least I have something. But at what cost? At what cost? Your peace? Your joy? Your voice? Your identity? You see, loneliness is not the absence of your partner. It is not the absence of a partner. Loneliness is being in a relationship and still feeling unseen. Loneliness is shrinking yourself so someone else can feel big. Loneliness is constantly explaining why you deserve basic respect. And I had to learn something the hard way because being alone is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Losing yourself is. Somewhere along the line, I forgot I was that person, you know. I forgot that long before I was Mr. X's girlfriend, I was me, the girl with our own ambitions, our own dreams, our own standards, our own confidence, our own fire. But heartache has a way of blurring your self image, trust me. It does have a way of blurring your self image. It makes you question your worth. It makes you wonder if you are too much or not enough, or if you're too emotional, too independent, too strong, not calm enough, not submissive enough, not patient enough. But the truth here is the right love will never require you to reduce yourself. Let me say that again. The right love will never require you to reduce yourself. Now, my best friend, after spending time with me, listening to me, really seeing me, reminded me of my worth, reminded me that there was a time I didn't fear anything called human, reminded me of my strength. See, sometimes we need mirrors. Yeah, we need mirrors. People who reflect back to us who we truly are when we are forgotten. But here's what I realized. Even though people can remind you of your worth, you are the one who must decide to walk in it. Because no one has the power to shadow your dreams unless you give it to them. And I gave it away for a while. But today, I refuse. I refuse to give anyone the power again. I refuse to shrink. I refuse to settle. I refuse to lose myself trying to hold on to someone else. Now, healing is not dramatic. It's intentional. It's about being intentional. It's choosing therapy over denial. It's choosing growth over familiarity. It's choosing yourself even when it's uncomfortable. And sometimes healing looks like unfollowing someone or blocking someone or deleting pictures, returning gifts, saying no, setting boundaries, walking away quietly. I did all of these things, right? Healing doesn't always look glamorous. Sometimes it looks like crying in your room and choosing yourself anyway. And I just want to talk about something deeper, something we are not afraid of being alone. We are afraid of what being alone will reveal, what silence will reveal, because it forces you to confront. Now, why do I attach so quickly? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why do I ignore red flags? Why do I tolerate what I say I don't like? Why do I need validation from outside? And you see, those questions are uncomfortable sometimes, but they are necessary. They are questions you should ask yourself, because you will never truly be happy if you continue to hold on to the things that make you sad. Happiness is not found in a person. It's cultivated within. Oh God, help me. It's cultivated within. I hope that by revealing my truth, you will be inspired to confront yours. Maybe your story looks different. Maybe it's not romantic heartbreak. Maybe it's friendship or family. Or maybe it's career. Or maybe it's self-doubt. But wherever you have been shrinking, please stop. Wherever you've been settling, just take a pause. Wherever you've been settling, take a pause. Wherever you've been afraid to start over, trust yourself, because the version of you that existed before the pain still exists. She's just waiting for you to choose her again. That's the truth. So if this episode resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone who is learning to choose themselves over, someone who is ready to stop outsourcing their happiness, someone who is ready to hear instead of hide, someone who is ready to heal instead of hide. And remember, happiness doesn't start with a relationship. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't start with a title. It doesn't start with validation. Happiness starts with you. Until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and keep becoming. Thank you for listening.